大家好, kumusta? My name is Victor, and today we have two new lenses in front of us. This is the Laowa Proteus 2x Anamorphic zooms, which is starting from 26 to 45 and 45 to 85. So these two are loaner units. I have to give them back in a couple of weeks after I'm done with them. But even if I do get to keep them, like the Laowa Nanomorph LFs, as you have seen in this channel, I go through pros and cons, just show you guys what's good and bad about these products that come into the channel. These are Super 35s, but they work well with full frame as well. It's just on the wider end of these two lenses, you just have to crop it. With 2x Anamorphic anyways, like this is super wide. Being said 16:9, we have to cover everything, or you can do a letterbox, you can do a CinemaScope aspect ratio, and it could still cover full frame on the telephoto end. This is a great innovation from Laowa, and that it's with this size. It's Super 35, so it's smaller in size, which is quite okay. And that a single lens weighs about 1.5 kilos, or that would be 3.3 pounds for each of them. It's quite small for what it is, and Laowa has always been just trying to make it compact. Everything about this lens is pretty good. Long story short, these are my new favorite lenses. And yes, I wouldn't be able to afford them, but if they go to rental houses, next project I shoot, maybe passion project, narrative, whatever, commercial even maybe, I would shoot with these because they're that great. Now, I'm not gonna be here convincing you to buy these lenses because these are super expensive. One is gonna set you back $5,999 US plus tax and maybe plus shipping. For two of these, you get a case as well, and it's $10,999 US. I've taken this to two shoots, which is my sister's wedding, and I am glad that these came in for those because the shots that we got with these are beautiful, and I'm sure she's gonna be happy with it. I love the footage that came out, and it was actually my first time shooting with these lenses, and I was just blown away by these. In the second shoot, I shot a lighting tutorial and I used these lenses. And again, these are pretty great because it matched the vibe that I was going for that shoot, for the reference shots that I picked. And yes, it looks very, very nice. Everything that I wanted for anamorphic lens is with these two lenses. This is why I'm really heartbroken because I have to give these back. There's only one main flaw, which is also fixable, and that is the distortion. Pin cushion distortion is heavy on these lenses. Now, if you crop it actually for Super 35, it's okay, it's bearable, but then if you use full frame, obviously it's not supposed to cover that wide. You just have to correct it in post, and you can just make it a little bit of a barrel distortion, or you can make it straight if you want. But yeah, that's the biggest downfall of these two lenses. But everything else is amazing. And as usual with Laowa's build quality is great, solid metal. You've got smooth focus, zoom, and iris rings. They've got a bit of throw in them. And I was really able to kind of tell my story with focus pulling on these ones. And it's super smooth. I didn't have any issues with it. It takes some time to really get used to the heft of this lens. My setup was pretty big anyways, like it was mounted on the Pyxis. The combination of this and the Pyxis is just godsend. I feel like when I was filming that lighting tutorial, and I was filming the scenes, and I could see my vision come to life quite easily. So these come with these metal lens caps, and that's typical for Laowa lenses, and that the filter thread is 77 and the outer diameter is 80 millimeters. So the minimum focus distance of the 26 to 45 is about 50 centimeters, and then the 45 to 85 is 90 centimeters, which is quite typical for anamorphic. Oh, and these are parfocal. Did I tell you that these are parfocal? That means that if you try and zoom, your focus distance won't change. And that's amazing. And that's like one of the key features why these are so good, because it's parfocal. Anamorphic, zoom, parfocal, great character, amazing. The flaring on this one is magnificent. Again, I like the character that this is giving out, just minus the distortion, which is fixable again. And what I have here is the blue flares. And usually if I want anamorphic lenses, it's either blue or silver. Basically for me, I would almost always pick silver flares because it adapts to the light source and that it's a lot more natural. But if the project calls for it, we're gonna pick either blue or orange. Again, always pick the tools, the right tools for the project, and making sure that you're using the best tools to tell your story. I don't know why I'm doing this. But yeah, those are all my thoughts about these lenses. And again, long story short, these are great except for one issue, which is the pin cushion distortion. Everything else, I mean, you have an anamorphic zoom, 2x anamorphic, parfocal, great character. I guess there's another con, which is the price tag, which is actually kind of still reasonable because you basically have multiple lenses in one lens. And for a 2-lens set, you're covered from 26mm all the way to 85mm. And that's a big range. Like these two will get you to places. But yeah, if you have any questions about these two lenses, let me know in the comments down below or message me on Instagram. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Peace.